Hey, it's MK and I am back with another Baby Got Scraps, and for this one I have picked out my title already using this storyline thickers. I love these thickers because they're kind of like craft and I get to make them any color I want. I also did a small little portion of the title in the Simple Stories color vibes, these wood grain stickers. So Roads to CC&V is my title, not are my title, is my title. I also have these crocheted stars by the Not Just for Boys Kit Club, as well as some assemblage required skeleton leaves. I absolutely love including a leaf or two in my project. I have some Cocoa Vanilla stars, some die cuts from 49 and Market, the Hike More collection, I believe, or Take a Hike. I cannot remember which one it is. I have some buttons that are trees, and we just cut off the backs of the buttons using some side cutters. And then I have some die cut leaves or trees. I apologize. These are the dies that I purchased from Elizabeth Craft Designs. I believe this Wander Word is from Heidi Swap, and then I have some charms by Not Just for Boys Kit Club as well. Yes, I do. I am going to attempt to use all of these as well as these leftover pieces from my mountain trek papers that I created a layout for a couple days ago, and I had all these papers left and I just really wanted to use them. Here is my one piece of 12 by 12 that is allotted to me during the Baby Got Scraps, and I plan on making some pocket pages today. Yep. So I thought that I would just kind of sort of do some more pocket pages. I am almost done with my 2019 album. And then I go to a retreat at the end of February, and I will be putting together my 2020 album over there. So I'm super excited about getting all of those printed and putting them in an album. That is like one of my favorite things to do as far as organization goes, is setting up albums and just getting all psyched up and ready to finish the pages, or do the pages, I should say. Can't finish them if I hadn't started on them. Anyways, I went ahead and I cut all of my papers so that way I had two pieces from that Mountain Trek beautiful pattern, one on the front and one on the back, and then of course my cardstock for my photo mats. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut my photos as well as mount them front and back on my cardstock, because I don't like my photos to slip around inside the pocket. I just don't like that, you guys. And for one, somebody's made a comment about this as well, that I find that they don't slip out of the pockets as easy when there's not so many bits and pieces to move around. I know that maybe that's psychological. I'm not really sure. But I have noticed that I'm a lot happier with all of my elements in pockets if I glue them front to back. Anyways, went ahead and I colored out all of my alphas with my brand new, oh my gosh, it's brand spanking new from close to my heart. It's the color Harbor, if that's a thing. And it's a shimmer pen. So it's all sparkly and whatnot, but it's that gorgeous, like blacky gray color. Oh my gosh, it is amazing. Go ahead and check out Close to My Heart for all of their toogles like that, you guys. It's like a treasure trove of, unfound things. It's awesome. So I apologize for being out of the frame, but I'm going to go ahead and pick 3, which is kind of sort of my, go-to number. I think it's like the story of threes or whatever anybody else does, but I am picking 3 photos, dead spots, to decorate instead of all of them. And then when I flip them over, I'm going to pick 3 different ones because I don't want the bulk to be on front and back. That's how I get warping in my photos, especially in one single pocket if I have bulk on both front and back. And what I mean by bulk is the charms that I chose, which are my 2 little arrows. That's going to create a little bit of bulk in, even though they are pretty thin, it's going to create a little bit of bulk in my pockets as well as my crocheted stars, which match this paper collection to a T. It's gorgeous, you guys. I love these little stars, and they're so compact. Like the crochetedness is like mushed together. They're just awesome stars, you guys. I want some more, but there aren't any. Went ahead and glued all of my alphas down, or all of my, I glued my title down, you guys. And my title, speaking of which, is kind of weird, kind of cryptic, but I'm on a work trip, and I had to fly into Colorado Springs. I've got way too many, areas in my brain. I had to fly into Colorado Springs, rent a car, and drive down to Victor, Colorado. And it's actually Cripple Creek and Victor, which is CC&V, Cripple Creek and Victor. And so I actually stayed at Cripple Creek, and then the mine site is in between both cities, which is Cripple Creek and Victor. And so it's just phenomenal town, you guys. It's just a cute little teeny tiny little place to live. I absolutely loved it. And the reason why I took all these photos, yes, I was driving, I shouldn't have been, but it was 35 miles an hour, which is still accident worthy. I understand. Please don't harass me about that. I should not have been taking the photos. But what I do is I set my phone up on the dash, and periodically I push the button to take a photo. That's it. That's all that there is to it. I'm not holding my phone except for out the window. I did, because that was me going back into Colorado Springs. Cripple Creek was a little bit harder because you're actually coming down into Cripple Creek. It was a really cool drive. I can't not tell you guys what a cool drive it really was to go into Cripple Creek, and such a cute, adorable little town. It's like one street long. It's amazing. But one of the reasons why I did take all of these is because, oddly enough, and I'm not sure, I never looked it up. I wish I could have. But the road was actually red, like the mountainside. It was red. And the photos do it no justice because it's always in the shade. And so I was like calling, I was actually on the phone when I was taking photos as well. So again, a double bonus of how not to drive. But I was explaining to one of my coworkers how red this road was. And they were like, "What are you talking about? That's just so weird. We don't remember the road being red." And so of course I had to take photos to prove it. And none of my photos came back as red, like what I was seeing. So I was kind of disappointed in that aspect. But, another really smart guy that I used to work with, he's awesome, by the way. Anyways, he actually looked it up, and it's the slough off. So when it rains in Colorado, it's the mountainside that is sloughing off and over the road. And so, of course, the rain takes the red mud and takes it with it flowing over the road. And then when it dries, it just dries red. And because it's so much and it gets quite frequently rain, like it's not Seattle rain, but it gets a lot of rain. And so the roads never really do wash off. They never really get clean because I guess their hills and mountains and dirt is red. So I was like, oh, that's really, really cool. I really like that. I wish I knew why it was red. It's the type of rock or sulfur in the rock or something to do with the rock. But yes, it's red, and that is why their roads are red. But I just could not take a picture of it, and it frustrates me. But that is why I have so many pictures of the road. Plus, it's gorgeous, by the way. The view, the drive, everything was just absolutely gorgeous. I loved it because I got into the airport super early in the morning. I think it was like 3 a.m. So I got to watch the sun come up. And excuse me, I apologize. So I got in, and the lady at the car rental place, I put in for, the type of car that I work, and she goes, "Oh, if you're going up to CC&V, then you definitely need a 4-wheel drive. I'm going to upgrade you." And so she upgraded me into this cute little Jeep that I am driving now. And I did like it. At first I was like, oh, scared, because of the way she was talking. She was like, "Oh yeah, it's going to be this, it's going to be that." She made it seem like, it was totally snow covered and I needed 4-wheel drive to get up there. And she scared the living daylights out of me. Before I even went outside of the airport. I was already scared because of, how she was driving and the elevation that I was going up Two, to get to this town, also it was just all around scary. And so, I got into the car and I was like, okay, I'm going to be fine. I will be just fine. And I just started driving, and clear roads the whole way there. I don't understand why she scared me or why I allowed myself to get scared, because, there's so many things that we could look up nowadays to look and see what the weather's going to be like before even getting on the road. And I didn't. I let somebody, put it in my head that I was going to, be in the because of the type of vehicle she put me in. Anyways, but I absolutely I loved this little drive that I had to take. I had to take it going, to Cripple Creek, and then I also had to take it back into the airport as well. And so it's photos going there and photos coming back. And so I just had a blast, you guys. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. This is how I finished off all of the dead space in my photos that I just babbled through. Basically what I did was I took both sides, divvied up what I wanted on one side, and then flipped it over and divvied up what I wanted on the other side. And of course I had leftovers, because I always pick out way too much stuff to play with, but I love having options. I just don't like having a whole bunch of options. So when I do plan a layout, I do kind of sort of go through everything first before kind of like what are all the things that would work with this layout and the mood and the feel and all that stuff. And then I go ahead and I pick it all out and then make sure that I put everything away before I start my layout, because if I have my big old huge bin to just keep continuously picking through, I definitely won't get anything done. So I do make sure that I limit what I pick and then get it all, put away. And then that way, when I start my layout, I only have those few options to make work. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you check everyone else out that is still playing along with Baby Got Scraps, and I will check y'all tomorrow. Bye.